Hey everyone, welcome to the online program of Amrita IAS Academy. My name is Sivi Joy. As part of our monthly current affair MCQ series, in this video, we'll be discussing part 5B of June 2020. So without any delay, we'll go inside the video. 13th question. In context of Scheme for Promotion of Academic and Research Collaboration, SPARC, consider the following statements. 1. It is an initiative of Ministry of Science and Technology. 2. It aims at improving the research ecosystem of India's higher educational institutions by collaborating with world institutions. Choose the correct code. Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2, and option D none of the above. So, Scheme for Promotion of Academic and Research Collaboration. This is more regards to academic R&D research. So we can definitely say while it does have similarities with Ministry of Science and Technology, there is another ministry known as the Ministry of Human Resource Development, which deals with the education and academic performances. So I think this scheme would be matching more towards the Ministry of Human Resource Development rather than matching with the Ministry of Science and Technology. So there will be many questions asked by UPSC where they may change the ministry names. So try to find out what the scheme is all about and see whether it matches with the ministry which is given in the statement. Or if it does not match, can you find another ministry which is more apt to implement this scheme? So since this scheme talks about academic and research collaboration, I would definitely say it is more under the ambit of the Ministry of Human Resource Development rather than the Ministry of Science and Technology. So having a general sense of the major central ministries, this will definitely help you to identify the correct scheme under the correct ministry. So I will definitely say the first statement is wrong. Then the only statement left is, or options left is B 2 only and D none of the above. So we managed to make a 50-50 elimination. Let's look at the second statement. It aims at improving the research ecosystem of India's higher educational institutions by collaborating with world institutions. Yes, this theme matches with the theme of the question too. So the second statement actually matches with the theme of the question. So I definitely say the answer would be option B. Let's look at the explanation. The answer is B. Statement 1 is not correct because SPARC is an initiative of Ministry of Human Resource Development. Statement 2 is correct because it aims at improving the research ecosystem of India's higher educational institutions by facilitating academic and research collaborations between Indian institutions and the best institutions in the world from 28 selected nations to jointly solve problems of national or international relevance. So that is the explanation. It is meant to improve the research ecosystem by having collaborations between Indian institutions and world institutions too. We'll go for the next question. Consider the following statements. Eliminating TB is one of UN Sustainable Development Goals or SDGs. NICSHE is the web-enabled patient management system for TB control under the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program or NTEP. NTEP aims at completely eliminating TB by 2025, which is 5 years ahead of the global SDG target. Choose the correct code. Option A 1 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D all of the above. So eliminating TB is one of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Yes, elimination of TB is one of that goals. So I definitely say option 1 is that. We can eliminate option B because it does not have the statement 1 in it. Then NICSHE is the web-enabled patient management system for TB control under the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Yes, it is a factual question. So second and third statements are actually factual questions, and you can learn about it when you learn about the NTEP program. So NTEP program has been consistently there in the newspapers and the other current affair modules over the past few cycles. So I would say that a person who is preparing for civil services should know about the tuberculosis program of India. And the third statement is absolutely right that it aims at completely eliminating TB by 2025, which is 5 years ahead of target of the global SDG target. And NICSHE is also the web-enabled patient management system. So this was actually present in the current affair module. So if you had read about it, if you had learned about it, you would have known it. But of course, it is not quite possible that we may have forgotten it, or even if you have zero idea about it, please learn it right now. The answer is option D. Please look at the explanation, read it and understand it. The answer is D. Explanation. The UN SDG includes ending TB epidemic by 2030 under the goal 3. The strategy is to provide a unified response to ending TB death, disease and suffering. It builds on 3 strategic pillars underpinned by 4 key principles. The second statement is correct, where the idea is NICSHE. Ni is end and KSHE is for TB. It is a web-enabled patient management system for TB control under the NTEP. It was developed and maintained by the Central TB Division under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and it was done in collaboration with the National Informatics Center and the World Health Organization's Country Office for India. So NICSHE is used by health functionaries at various levels across the country, both in public and private sector, to register cases under their care, order various types of tests from labs across the country, record the treatment details, monitor treatment adherence, and to transfer cases between the care providers. It also functions as the national TB surveillance system and enables reporting of various surveillance data to the Government of India. The statement 3 is also correct because the National Strategic Plan for Tuberculosis Elimination of 2017 to 25 aims to achieve active case finding of TB to 100% by 2020 and complete elimination of TB by 2025, which is ambitiously 5 years ahead of the global SDG target. So that is the explanation of this. Please read it, listen to it. This should definitely help you in case there's a question about the NTEP program. We'll go for the next question. What is Marich, which is recently inducted in the Indian Navy? A. Nuclear capable submarine. B. Intercontinental ballistic missile. C. New deck based fighter aircraft. And D. Advanced torpedo decoy system. So again, it's a ABCD type of question. Unless one has a very clear idea of what this is, it's going to be really hard to mention this specifically. But at the same time, for those who have a general idea about the current affair modules and learning about the defense capabilities of India, definitely the names of the nuclear capable submarine of India, the intercontinental ballistic missile of India, and the new deck based fighter aircraft, all of this is well known. So one among the things which is not well known is the advanced torpedo decoy system, which is known as Marich. So if you can find a link, go for it. If you cannot, it's not a problem, learn it. In the future, we can definitely hit this question right if such a question comes. So it does not matter where you are right now. The only thing that matters is improving each day by learning more and more things. So let's look at the explanation. The answer is D. Anti-submarine warfare capability of the Indian Navy has received a major boost today with the conclusion of contract for advanced torpedo decoy system Marich, capable of being fired from all frontline warships. Design and development of this anti-torpedo decoy system has been undertaken indigenously in the DRDO labs of NSTL and NPOL. Bharat Electronics Limited, a defense PSU, would undertake the production of this system. The prototype has been installed on board a nominated naval platform. It has successfully completed all user evaluation trials and demonstrated the features as per the naval staff qualification requirements. And this induction not only stands testimony to the joint resolve of the Indian Navy and the DRDO towards indigenous development of defense technology, but has also given a major fillip to the government's Make in India initiative in the country's resolve to become Atmanirbhar in the niche technology. So understand, this is completely indigenous, designed by DRDO and Bharat Electronics. It's for the Indian Navy. The idea is advanced torpedo decoy system and its name is Marich. So let's go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Kartarpur corridor. So Kartarpur corridor is a visa-free secure corridor connecting the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan to the border with India. Second statement, the first Guru of Sikhism, Guru Nanak, founded Kartarpur and established the first Sikh commune there. Select the correct answer using the given below code. A, 1 only, B, 2 only, both, C, both 1 and 2, and D, none of the above. So Kartarpur corridor has been a very hot issue which has been running throughout the news cycles. So it is a very important issue and there have been lots of discussions about it. So those who have been consistently in touch with the news and everything, they would have definitely heard about this. Even if you have not heard about it, let me tell you, it's a very easy points we can learn about it. Kartarpur corridor is a visa-free secure corridor connecting the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan to the border with India. And the first Guru of Sikhism, Guru Nanak, founded the Kartarpur commune and established the first Sikh commune over there. So both the statements are right. This is a very important current affair. Please look into it. Let's go for the explanation. The answer is C. The statement 1 is correct because it is a visa-free border crossing and secure corridor connecting the Gurudwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan to the border with India. And the second statement is correct because the first Guru of Sikhism, Guru Nanak, founded Kartarpur in 1504 Christian era on the right bank of the Ravi River and established the first Sikh commune over there. So that is the explanation for the Kartarpur corridor. Let's go for the next question. In context of the Galwan River, consider the following statements. It originates from the Bokarchu Glacier near Manasarovar Lake. 2. It joins the Shiok River, which forms a part of the Indus River system. 3. It creates a natural boundary between India and China. Choose the correct code. Option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, 1 and 3 only. And option D, 2 and 3 only. So let's take the first statement. It originates from the Bokarchu Glacier near Manasarovar Lake. So while learning about the major rivers of India, we'll be definitely learning about the major 3 rivers of the Himalayan rivers known as the Indus, the Ganges and the Brahmaputra. And the Bokarchu Glacier is one of the primary originating points of the river Indus. So definitely we can say that the Galwan River does not originate from the Bokarchu Glacier near Manasarovar Lake. So let us eliminate option 1. You are left with option B, 2 only, and option D, 2 and 3 only. So the option B, the second statement is right. It joins the Shiok River, which forms a part of the Indus River system. The third statement, it creates a natural boundary between India and China. Galwan river has been there in the news recently with regards to certain conflicts between India and China, and it does not actually create a natural boundary between India and China, and that is also a source of conflict. So we can say the third statement is also wrong. So the correct answer is option B, 2 only. Let's look at the explanation. Statement answer is B. Statement 1 is not correct because river Galwan is more like a stream or a nala which originates from the Aksai Chin, flowing through a narrow valley to meet the river Shiok on the Indian side of the line of actual control. Indus River system is one of the largest river systems in the world. The Indus originates from the Bokarchu Glacier in the northern slopes of Mount Kailash. The second statement is correct because the Galwan River flows westwards from the disputed Aksai Chin region into Ladakh after originating in the Samzungling area on the eastern side of the Karakoram range and joins the Shiok River, one of the tributaries of the Indus. The fast-flowing river runs for about 80 kilometers. The third statement is not correct because it does not make a natural boundary between India and China, and it is a contested valley with regards to the India-China border conflict. So that is the explanation about the Galwan River Valley. Let's go for the next question. Consider the following statements about Paradip Port. First statement, this natural deep water port is located on the east coast of Andhra Pradesh. Second, it is situated at the confluence of the Mahanadi River and the Bay of Bengal. 3. Recently, the government has renamed it as the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Port. Which of the above mentioned statements are correct? 1 only, option B 1 and 2 only, C 2 and 3 only, and D 2 only. So, Paradip Port. India has many major ports and many minor ports, and Paradip Port is one among the major ports present in India. So, one thing we have to note down is where are these major ports located? We will be definitely learning it as part of our current preparation for the civil services exam, where the major ports are located and what is the role played by major ports. So, let's take the first statement. This natural deep water port is located on the east coast of Andhra Pradesh. No, Paradip is actually present in the state of Odisha. So, it is one of Odisha's major ports. So, as to say that it is in Andhra Pradesh is wrong. So, let's remove option 1. But let's remove the statement 1. If that is gone, option A and option B is gone. What is left is option C and D, which has the statement 2 common in both of them. So, it is situated at the confluence of the Mahanadi River and the Bay of Bengal is right. Third statement, recently the government has renamed it as Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Port. So, the government has brought about a change in the naming of a port and it has named it to the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Port. But recently it was there in the news. It is not the Paradip Port, but it is actually the Kolkata Port, which has been renamed as the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Port. Let's look at the answer. The answer is going to be option D, 2 only. Let's look at the explanation. Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel inaugurated a Product Application Development Center PADC set up by Indian Oil at Paradip. So the statement 1 is not correct because the Paradip port is a natural deep water port on the east coast of India in Jagatsinghpur district of Odisha. The port is administered by the Paradip Port Trust PPT, an autonomous corporation wholly owned by the Government of India. Statement 2 is correct because it is situated at the confluence of the Mahanadi River and the Bay of Bengal. Statement 3 is not correct because Kolkata Port is the only riverine major port of India located in the city of Kolkata, which has been renamed as the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Port. So that is the explanation for this question. Let's look at the next question. In context of Narcondam hornbill, consider the following statements. 1. They are endemic to Western Ghats. 2. They are classified as endangered as per IUCN conservation status. Choose the correct code. Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2, and option D none of the above. So let's take this major theme of the question, which is hornbill. So hornbills are present in major forested areas. So definitely you can say they could be possible to endemic to Western Ghats. But the name before the hornbill is which is given is Narcondam. Narcondam is actually an island in the Andaman Island group. So we can say Narcondam is present in the Andaman and Nicobar Island group. So it is not endemic to Western Ghats, but rather it is endemic to the Narcondam region of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So this you will be learning about this as part of your environment and also as part of your geography. So we can eliminate option 1. The second statement, they are classified as endangered as per IUCN conservation status. Yes, it is quite possible they could be classified as endangered. So we will go with the option B, which is 2 only. Let's look at the explanation. Statement 1 is not correct because the Narcondam hornbill, known as the Rhyticeros narcondami, is a species of hornbill in the family Bucerotidae. It is endemic to the Indian island of Narcondam in the Andamans. Males and females have a distinct plumage. The Narcondam hornbill has the smallest home range out of all species of Asian hornbills. The statement 2 is also correct because some human presence on the island has been noted recently, and since 2009 the Narcondam hornbill has the conservation status of endangered. So we can definitely say that the Narcondam hornbill is endemic to the Narcondam island of the Andamans, and it is presently under the endangered status or under the IUCN. So that is the explanation for this question. Let's go for the next question. Recently, the Ministry of Culture has organized the Sankalp Parva to A. Protect the heritage monuments, B. Preserve indigenous languages, C. Plant trees in order to create healthy environment, and D. Restore the tribal art and craft. So again, it's a ABC type of question. Unless you know it, go for it. If you don't know it, try to find some logic or intuition to find an answer. If nothing works and you have attended sufficient questions, you can just leave it. At the same time, you feel that you need to take this question, try to find some small element or hint which will help you to score the correct answer. Try to find that, and that is going to help you, and that is how you are going to attend the majority of the questions in your UPSC, which is going to make sure that you clear this exam comfortably. So the answer is actually option C, plant trees in order to create healthy environment. Even if you don't know about it, let's learn about it in the explanation. Answer C. In the explanation, the Culture Minister urges all to participate in the Sankalp Parva and to plant trees to create healthy environment in our country. The Ministry of Culture has decided to celebrate Sankalp Parva from 28th of June to 12th of July 2020, wherein Ministry expects all its subordinate offices, academies, attached institutions, affiliated institutions to plant trees in its campus or the surroundings wherever it is possible. He added that the Ministry of Culture recommends to plant 5 trees which have been identified by our Prime Minister and which represent the herbal heritage of our country. These trees are Bargad, Aula, Peepal, Ashok and Bale. He further said that if a sapling of these trees are not available, then people may do plantation of any other sapling of their choice. So, please understand that Sankalp Parva was under the aegis of the Ministry of Culture, where the idea was to plant more trees for a healthy environment. So, this is the idea behind it. Learn about it. Let's go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the Sagarmala Programme. It is a flagship program of the Ministry of Shipping. Second statement, it envisages to unlock the potential of waterways and the coastline to minimize infrastructural investments. Select the correct answer using the given below code. Option A 1 only, option B 2 only, option C both 1 and 2, and option D none of the above. So, talking about the Sagarmala Programme, Sagar, if you know a little bit of Hindi or some idea about it, you will know the word Sagar means ocean or sea. So, taking that into account, definitely we can say that it is more related to the ocean or the sea. So, the first statement, it is a flagship program of the Ministry of Shipping. Yes, it is true. So, we can say yes, it is true. Second statement, it envisages to unlock the potential of waterways and the coastline to minimize infrastructural investments. Yes, that is also possible. So, both the statements seem highly logical and matching with the demand of the question about the Sagarmala Programme. At the same time, yes, it is quite possible if you have learned about it, you would have some idea. Even if you don't know about it, some idea or some hint would help you score good marks for this question and maybe even hit the question right consistently. If you don't know about it, don't worry, we'll be learning about it in the explanation. Let's go for the explanation. The answer is C. Statement 1 is correct because the Sagarmala Programme is the flagship program of the Ministry of Shipping to promote port-led development in the country by exploiting India's 7,500 km long coastline, 14,500 km of potentially navigable waterways, and its strategic location on the key international maritime trade routes. The second statement is also correct because it aims to modernize India's ports so that port-led development can be augmented and coastlines can be developed to contribute to India's growth. It also aims at transforming the existing ports into modern world-class ports and integrate the development of the ports, inland industrial clusters, hinterland efficient evacuation systems through road, rail, inland and coastal waterways, resulting in ports becoming drivers of economic activity in coastal areas. So, that is the major theme behind the Sagarmala Programme. The Sagarmala Programme is an initiative to enhance the performance of the country's logistics sector. It envisages unlocking the potential of waterways and the coastline to minimize infrastructure investments required to meet these targets. So, that is the idea, the major theme and the major factors about the Sagarmala Programme. Please learn about it, keep it in your mind. Definitely if a question comes, you should be able to attend it. Let's go for the next question. Consider the following statements about the STARS project. It is an initiative of World Bank. It will help to improve learning assessment systems, facilitate school to work transition and decentralized management. Third statement, it will be implemented through the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan in all states and UTs. Which of the four above mentioned statements are correct? Option A 1 and 2 only, option B 2 and 3 only, option C 1 and 3 only, and option D all of the above. So, looking at this, let's take the third statement. It will be implemented through the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan in all states and union territories. All states. The key word to be identified over here is all. So, since it's an absolute directive, it seems highly improbable that one would be able to hit it correctly consistently. So, we can just remove the third statement. You take the first, if you remove the third statement, the only option left is option A 1 and 2 only. So, taking that into account, we can definitely go for a very solid guess saying that the option A is right. If you have no knowledge about the STARS project, definitely you can go for it. But such keywords help us to make sure that our knowledge is perfect and overcome any deficiencies in knowledge to identify the correct answer. So let's go for the explanation. The answer is A. The statement 1 is correct because the World Bank Board of Executives has approved a new project worth $500 million to improve learning outcomes and governance of government schools in 6 Indian states. The second statement is also correct because STARS will help improve learning assessment systems, strengthen classroom instruction and remediation, facilitate school to work transition, and strengthen the governance and decentralized management. The third statement 3 is not correct because the project name STARS, which is Strengthening Teaching, Learning and Results for States program, will be implemented through the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, the flagship central scheme in partnership with Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha and Rajasthan, but not with all other states and union territories. Initially, it's being done with these states alone. So that is the explanation for the STARS project. Let's go for the next question. In context of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, or CITES, consider the following statement. 1. It is also known as the Washington Convention. 2. It protects endangered plants and animals. 3. It is legally binding on the parties and takes the place of national laws. Choose the correct code. Option A, 1 and 2 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, 1 and 3 only. And option D, all of the above. So even if we have zero idea about this question, let's take the third statement. It is legally binding on the parties. Yes, it may or may not be, and takes the place of national laws. Definitely, the ability to frame laws is a sovereign power of the country itself. So that to say that some convention signed abroad is going to impose a new law upon a country, a sovereign country like India, would be a question on the sovereignty of India. So the third statement is highly illogical, saying that because that convention's laws will take the place of national laws in our country. So we can say that that statement has a very big mistake in that. So we can remove the third statement. If you remove the third statement, you are left with options A and B. So we managed to make a 50-50 elimination, and it shows that the second statement is correct. That is, it protects endangered plants and animals. So now the only question is whether we can go for option A or option B, and it is determined upon the first statement. It is also known as the Washington Convention. For those who have prepared about CITES, you don't worry, you will be learning about it. For those who have not prepared, I am saying that you will be learning about it as part of the static portion of your environment syllabus, which is going to be covered under the Civil Services Prelims course. So CITES is actually also known as the Washington Convention, and the first statement is also absolutely right. Second statement is absolutely right. The third statement, it is legally binding, but it does not take the place of national laws. That is the true feature of CITES. So let's go for the explanation. The answer is option A. The statement 1 is correct because CITES, the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, is also known as the Washington Convention. Second statement is correct because the multilateral treaty aims to protect endangered plants and animals. And the third statement is not correct because although CITES is legally binding on the parties, it does not take the place of national laws. Rather, it provides a framework respected by each party, which must adopt their own domestic or their own legislation to implement CITES at the national level. Rather, CITES does not impose any specific laws, but rather it provides a framework upon which the country itself can frame a new law to comply with the regulations of CITES. That is the idea behind this question. That is the explanation of this question. I hope everybody has learned about CITES. Let's go for the next question. In context of National Productivity Council, or NPC, consider the following statements. 1. It is a statutory body. 2. It works under the administrative control of the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Choose the correct code. Option A, 1 only. Option B, 2 only. Option C, both 1 and 2. And option D, none of the above. So National Productivity Council, the first statement is it is a statutory body. It's a doubtful question because a statutory body is something which has derived its powers from a statute passed by the legislature or passed by the parliament. So the National Productivity Council was not passed under a statute or a parliament act. So we can say it is not a statutory body. You will be learning about the major statutory bodies as you start preparing for your civil services examination as part of your polity and governance syllabus. So you don't have to worry about that. You will be learning about the major statutory bodies. The National Productivity Council is not a statutory body. But whereas the second statement, it works under the administrative control of the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT, under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Yes, that has a link to the National Productivity Council. So definitely I would say that the answer would be option B. There is no doubt about it. Let's go for the explanation. Even if you don't know about it, I hope this explanation will provide you sufficient knowledge to know about the National Productivity Council. The answer is B. Statement 1 is not correct because it was established as a registered society in 1958 by the Government of India. It is a tripartite non-profit organization with equal representation from the government, employers and workers organization, apart from technical and professional institutions including members from local productivity councils and also from the chambers of commerce on its governing body. So it's a tripartite organization. There's representation from the government, there's representation from the employers and the workers organization, and also technical professional bodies including from the local representatives and the chamber of commerce too. So whatever the first statement is wrong. It's not a statutory body, but rather it's a registered society and it's a non-profit organization. The second statement is also correct because it's a national level autonomous organization under the administrative control of the DPIIT under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry under the Government of India. So the second statement is absolutely right. I hope you all learnt about it. Let's go for the next question. The Kolongchu project is the first hydropower joint venture project between A. India and China, B. India and Nepal, C. India and Bangladesh, and D. India and Bhutan. So this is a very important question because it ties up with international relations, and this has been present in the newspapers consistently, saying that it is a new step towards deepening the neighborhood relation between India and a specific country, or the country in this question mentioned is actually Bhutan. The Kolongchu project is the first hydropower joint venture project between India and Bhutan. So it's something very important. We must learn about it. The answer is option D, India and Bhutan. Let's learn about the explanation. The answer is D, explanation. India and Bhutan took a major step forward for the construction of the 600 megawatt Kolongchu project. It's their first hydropower joint venture project in Bhutan's less developed eastern region of Prashiangse. It is the first time an India-Bhutan hydropower project will be constructed as a 50-50 joint venture, not as a government-to-government agreement. So that is the explanation of the Kolongchu project. And with this, we end the part 5B of June 2020. This is AB Joy signing off. Everybody have a nice day. Thank you.